Hello and welcome to the Seth Joyner Show. Although the record indicates that they're in the mix of the playoff hunt, this Eagles team, to me, is in trouble. It's one thing to have a bad outing versus the 49ers, but to follow that thumping up with another bad outing versus the Dallas Cowboys, your most hated rival, with everything to play for, is a hard pill to swallow. The Cowboys, like the 49ers, outplayed, outcoached, and outphysical the Eagles in every conceivable way. It's time for my breakdown. I've come to realize that this Eagles team, while very talented, isn't very good from top to bottom. This Nick Sirianni coach team never plays poorly in back-to-back weeks. And with a divisional foe and everything to compete for, they came out flat. The offense looks confused and at a loss for what they're really trying to accomplish. I understand that this is a passing league, but there's no rhythm or rhyme or direction to this offense at this point. It looks as though Brian Johnson and Nick Sirianni are calling plays off the top of their heads rather than there being a coordination, purpose, or strategy to what they're trying to get done. It's clear that the explosive plays are their main purpose. That's their target. Rarely, if ever, do you see this offense just take what the defense is giving them, convert third downs, and extend drives and finish in the red zone. They refuse to incorporate the run game in a conventional manner via the running backs, and the RPO and read option has vanished from this offense altogether. We've waited all season for this offense to put it all together. It's safe to say that the probability of that happening at this point isn't likely. Turnovers, miscues, and drop passes have plagued this team all season. They found ways to overcome it early in the year, but over the last 2 games, it has become their undoing, and it seems to be hurting not only their confidence, but continuity as well. Defensively, they went from a team that was dominant versus the run and trending towards a better pass defense team. Now, they can't stop the run or the pass, resulting in the 32nd ranked third down defense and the 30th ranked unit in the red zone in the National Football League. The D-line looks gassed. This defense asks a lot of its fronts, whether they're in the 4 or the 5-man look. The linebackers look lost in the run and the passing game, and the secondary looks slow and uncertain and timid, with the exception of Reed Blankenship and Sidney Brown, which brings the thunder every single game. These flaws have been present with this team all season, but winning is the best deodorant for what ails a team. It's a mask and a deterrent to the real flaws and shortcomings that have plagued this team all season. The narrative was, oh, but they won. So why would one complain or harp upon the negativity when this team is winning? Because those flaws have caught up to this team, and in my opinion, they will not survive the playoff tournament playing this way. As the season speeds towards its conclusion and the beginning of the playoffs, you want your team peaking and playing at their best. The Birds look like anything but that, with 4 games to play. I thought last week would be a let's see what they're made of week, and I think we learned very little. So now they're faced with flying out west and taking on the Seattle Seahawks, a team that, although they're coming off a 4-game losing skid, have to feel somewhat confident after watching how the Eagles have played the last 2 weeks. We'll see which Eagles teams show up and find out if they can turn it around or whether they'll sleepwalk through another critical game down the stretch. That's my breakdown. When I come back, the incomparable Larry Fitzgerald joins me to analyze what lies ahead for the staggering Philadelphia Eagles.
When you open the BetParx app, you're in the zone. Winning is always a rush, but the money is in the moments. It's the anticipation of another face card, the thrill of an extra spin, and the pure joy of a jackpot. It's all your favorite games at your fingertips. Plus, get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. You play for fun, you love to win. You bet. BetParx.
This is Seth Joyner, top analyst for the Birds. I've also analyzed the best auto dealerships, and I drive a Davis Honda.
Fall into savings at Davis Honda. Over 300 cars available. And right now, get rates as low as 0.9% at Davis Honda in Burlington. Plus, you'll get 2 years of free oil changes on every new and used Davis Honda vehicle. See why Davis Honda continues to win outstanding awards for sales and service, including the highest award from Honda, the President's Award. Get to Davis Honda in Burlington.
Fall into savings at Davis Honda.
Welcome to Bridgeview Partners, where IT and business innovation merge. We're not just another tech company. We're your strategic partner in navigating the ever-evolving digital landscape. Our team of experts tailors cutting-edge solutions to fit your unique needs, and ensuring your success is our top priority. Elevate your business with Bridgeview Partners. Discover the power of partnership and tech innovation today. Contact us now to experience the difference. Bridgeview Partners, where innovation meets excellence.
If you understand that success is built on trusted relationships and dependable performance, Mid-Penn Bank is the right bank for you. We're on a mission to prove that the right bankers can make a big difference. We work harder, we get things done, and we're in your corner. With financial centers strategically located throughout the greater Philadelphia region and new locations in central New Jersey, we're ready to bring you the best in commercial and personal banking. Call or visit us today to connect with a professional Mid-Penn banker. Member FDIC. Go Eagles!
At Revolution X, we know that fortunes are made in times of uncertainty. Are you selling your investment real estate? Are you interested in deferring your tax with a 1031 exchange? At RevX, we're experts in 1031 exchange planning and the use of passive real estate options using DSTs. Not in the midst of an exchange and want to invest in real estate but don't know where to start? Revolution X has institutional-grade real estate options for any size investor right now. Set up a consultation at RevXWealth.com. RevX, defer the tax, maximize the gain.
This segment is brought to you by Davis Honda of Burlington. Philly, welcome one of the best to ever do it, a future first ballot Hall of Famer, now an analyst on ESPN for Monday Night Football. You guys know him as Larry Fitzgerald. Fitzy, what's happening, my brother?
Nothing much. Great to be with you. Appreciate you having me on. And to all the viewers, happy holidays to everybody out there.
All right, man. So let's jump into it. Say you'll be covering the Eagles next Monday night in Seattle. They got off to such a hot start, 5 in a row before dropping their first one to the Jets, followed by 5 more in a row that they ran off. And now all of a sudden they've lost back-to-back games to the 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys. What's plaguing this team, in your opinion, as you watch them?
Well, I don't know if there's anything plaguing. I mean, you have to tip your hat. You know, you're talking about two of the greatest teams in the game, San Francisco 49ers and Dallas Cowboys, two of the most talented, deep, well-coached teams in the game. It's not as if they're dropping games, you know, to teams that are, you know, sub 500. Obviously, they need to play better, you know, to be able to compete against the elite. But I think they understand that. And, you know, just from watching it the last few weeks, I mean, obviously Jalen is not 100%. You know, he's not able to be the dynamic runner that he was earlier in the season. And, you know, defenses are playing them differently because they don't have to worry about the run as much as they had to early in the year. Also, on the back end, you know, they've given up a lot more plays, yards after the catch. A lot of penalties on the back end as well, more than you've seen over the course of the last 2 years. So, you know, they clean those things up. I think they'll be right back where they were last season.
Fitz, you know, this team has had, you know, a lot of flaws all season long. They've won a lot of games in a resilient type of way. The psychological effect of losing by an average of, you know, the opposing teams have scored 37.5 points per game against them over the last 2 games, while they've only averaged 16 points per game the last 2 games. How does that play on them psychologically?
Well, I mean, I think psychologically it's probably harder losing close games. You know, once you know you're not in the game and it gets out of the balance, you know, you start thinking about other things. But when you're in those really, really tight games and you lose them, you know, I think those have a way of kind of lingering actually longer than, you know, getting blown out of a game. You know, you look at the tape, like we played terribly. These are the things we need to do better. And, you know, you weren't actually like competitive in the game for a long period of time. But when those games are really, really tight and it's, you know, one drop pass or, you know, somebody not being able to tackle on 3rd down, you know, those are the ones that really, really keep you up at night. You know, Seattle's, they play tough. You know, they're a really competitive group, but this is the game that I think Philly can go win. If you think about the Dallas game and the things that plagued them, you know, obviously you can't fumble the ball, you can't turn the ball over, you can't give teams extra possessions, and those are some of the things that have been hurting them right there. And those are easily cleaned up. You know, those are just attention to detail, keeping the ball high and tight, and making sure that, you know, you're protecting it.
All right, so Jalen Hurts and this offense coming off a Super Bowl last year was expected to be even more dynamic this year. Although the stats are similar to what they produced last year, they've been inconsistently, less than dynamic. How do they find themselves with 4 weeks left in the season?
Well, I mean, they're still leading the NFC right now. I mean, all roads run through Philly. They have control of that right now, and I think they just got to regroup. They have the talent. They have the group of men that can go and put a strong 4-game run together. There's no question in my mind. They have the coaching staff. They have the competitive chops. They just need to have that belief within the locker room to go put it together for 60 minutes for the next 4 weeks. And as you look at their schedule, there's nobody on that schedule that you say, oh man, they can't win this game. This one they definitely can't compete in. That's not the case. And so I just really believe it just comes down to confidence and execution. And this is a team that's battle tested. They've played against really, really good teams over the last 2 years. They're pretty healthy in terms of star power and the guys they rely on being on the field for competition. I don't see it any other way. They're still control their own destiny. They win these next 4 games, and I would say they'll probably be the number 1 seed in the NFC, and all roads will have to run through Philly. So I'm not pressed. When I look at them and I see what's going on, they need to be better. In terms of just not turning the ball over. Being able to tackle and get off the field on 3rd down, and just if you can work in a few more explosive plays, those are the ones that you think that they can have a few more explosives a game, to really get that offense kicking in high gear again.
Now, Larry, the Seattle Seahawks, have had their own issues. They're coming off of 4 losses in a row and digressing, in my opinion, Geno Smith. But they got to feel good about their chances after seeing how the Eagles have played the last 2 games of winning this game. And this is a must-win for both of these football teams, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing that you always recognize with Pete Carroll coach teams is they're never out of it. They always compete, even though they got beat pretty handily last week in San Francisco. But the way they compete and the way that defense stands up and bends and doesn't break. Obviously it really hurt their chances against San Francisco not having Geno. Hopefully he'll be able to come back and play from that growing strain, and they'll be a lot different team. Also, in my opinion, Seattle is the most difficult place to play in terms of venue. I mean, it's always tough. You can't really hear yourself. You never know what the conditions, the weather, the rainy, atmosphere that they usually have up there this time of the year. But if you look at on paper, the Philadelphia Eagles are a better football team. If they execute and play the way that we've seen them play over the last 2 years, they should come out this game with the win. But Pete Carroll's going to have that team ready, and he always does.
Fitzy, it's been a pleasure, man. Thank you for your time. Always great to have you on my show, man. And you know what? Hit them straight, my friend.
Thank you, brother. It's great to be with you, man. I hope you have a great rest of your show, and I appreciate you having me on today.
You got it. Happy holidays. Brad Fineberg is here after the break with your Week 15 fantasy and betting picks.
When you open the BetParks app, you're in the zone. Winning is always a rush, but the money is in the moments. It's the energy of being all in, the passion of a perfect parlay, and the pure joy of a jackpot. It's another opportunity to win big every day of the week. Sign up for BetParks and get a welcome offer today. You play for fun, you love to win. You bet. BetParks.
This is Seth Joyner, top analyst for the Birds. I've also analyzed the best auto dealerships, and I drive a Davis Honda.
Fall into savings at Davis Honda. Over 300 cars available. And right now, get rates as low as 0.9% at Davis Honda in Burlington. Plus, you'll get 2 years of free oil changes on every new and used Davis Honda vehicle. See why Davis Honda continues to win outstanding awards for sales and service, including the highest award from Honda, the President's Award. Get to Davis Honda in Burlington.
Fall into savings at Davis Honda.
Welcome to Bridgeview Partners, where IT and business innovation merge. We're not just another tech company. We're your strategic partner in navigating the ever-evolving digital landscape. Our team of experts tailors cutting-edge solutions to fit your unique needs, and ensuring your success is our top priority. Elevate your business with Bridgeview Partners. Discover the power of partnership and tech innovation today. Contact us now to experience the difference. Bridgeview Partners, where innovation meets excellence.
JP Mascaro and Sons is a family-owned, locally operated solid waste service company in business for over 60 years. You've seen the red trucks with the blue elephant that symbolizes strength and reliability. Mascaro is different than other national brands. Like the birds, Philadelphia is home. They'll take care of all your waste removal needs. They have it all: an experienced workforce, state-of-the-art equipment, a cutting-edge recycling center, and their own disposal facilities. Call 888-MASCARO or visit jpmascaro.com.
At Mandrecchia Law, we win big personal injury cases, but we always tell our clients up front that those cases almost always hinge on how much insurance coverage people or companies have. At Mandrecchia Law, we don't sell insurance, but we're experts at helping our clients make sure they have the right insurance to protect their businesses and families. Do you have the right insurance? Most people don't. For a consultation, visit mmattorneys.com or call 610-584-0700. Mandrecchia Law, aggressive attorneys who get the job done.
This segment is brought to you by Bet Parks. Welcome back. Follow my next guest, Brad Fineberg, at Brad's Best Bets for not only today's picks, but bonus picks leading into this weekend. Brad, how's it going, my friend?
Outstanding, Seth. How are you today?
Hey, listen, I'm good, man. You know, as some of the contenders, I should say, continue to establish themselves, many are struggling to maintain their position. Your thoughts?
Yes, Seth, look, you're absolutely right. Look, the NFL, look, they want parity. They have it. You know, you saw on Monday Night Football, look, the Dolphins as 2-touchdown favorites, Seth, losing outright to Tennessee. So, yeah, look, it's really hard to get a grasp on it. But I will say this, Seth, I believe strongly San Francisco is going to win the Super Bowl.
Wow. All right. So let's get started on our fantasy side. Let's start over there first. What players and defense are you targeting this week?
Well, I'll give you some underrated guys, Seth. First, underrated quarterback, Matt Stafford. Love the matchup, Seth. Everyone and their grandmother attacks the Washington Commanders and has success, okay? They have been torched all year by good quarterbacks. Stafford not being priced in the top 10, that's absolutely ridiculous. Love Stafford this week. I also love his backfield partner, Kyren Williams, who's been absolutely incredible. He's not cheap, Seth. He really isn't. But I don't care. He's a must-own. He's getting virtually every snap. And again, this Commanders defense, Seth, has been a turnstile. I think you could play for them right now today and be their best defensive player. I really think they're struggling that much, Seth. I really like Kyren Williams very much as a running back. Receivers-wise, Seth, you know, it's funny. We always talk about receivers, but I'm going to give you a tight end today, okay? I'm going to give you Trey McBride as an underrated guy. 41 catches his last 6 games. This guy's been an absolute stud. And now with Kyler Murray back there, I see no reason why he won't continue. Not that expensive. Love Trey McBride. And defensively, Seth, never thought I'd say this, but listen, who's been one of the worst offenses in football? The Kansas City Chiefs. The New England Patriots are the second cheapest defense. Their defense has actually played well. I'll take the second cheapest defense against an offense that's just really struggling right now.
Wow. All right. So what players in defense are you fading for Week 15?
Quarterback, Seth, I love this player. I love Tua. But, look, we saw without Tyreek Hill, he gets, nowhere near that kind of player. In addition, Seth, this matchup, it's why I faded C.J. Stroud last week. You saw he had his worst game of the year. I don't need to have he's third most expensive quarterback. I don't need to take him against this Jets elite pass defense, Seth. No thank you until we know that he's a great player. Running back-wise, Seth, I'm going to fade Brian Robinson of Washington. Now, he left injured his last game, so even if he plays, he's probably going to be limited, and he's still expensive. And their receiving back is Antonio Gibson. I expect him to be trailing this game versus Los Angeles, so I have no interest in him. Wide receiver, Seth, we're going to fade Adam Thielen of Carolina. Great story, good veteran players, had a great beginning into the year, but I think that story is over, Seth. They cannot pass the ball right now. Thielen's back to being more of a mediocre player, still being priced in the elite range. I don't put him there. And defensively, Seth, I'm going to fade the Dallas Cowboys. They're being priced as one of the most expensive defenses. And while they do make turnovers, I get it, and Josh Allen has been turnover prone, I don't want to go against the high-powered Buffalo offense. I'm passing on Dallas this week.
All right, so give me your top 4 picks, bets for games this week.
So I'll start out. Look, we just talked about the Dallas game. I like Buffalo laying 2 points, 1.5, 2 you could find. I think they're going to win this game, and I really do believe that. I thought Buffalo, I bet them to make the playoffs at 5.5 to 1 odds before last week. Again, the Kansas City game, now they're even money to make it. And And I think they're going to beat Dallas. Dallas, to me, is still not going to just sweep this board and go in the NFC Championship game against Frisco and just have a waltz of it. I don't think that's the case. Like Buffalo to win this game. Detroit is a bounce-back spot for me, Seth. You can lay 4.5 points against Denver. Look, Detroit's back home. They're back in their comfort zone, right? I call it like in baseball, like Coors Field for the Rockies. They score a lot more runs. When Detroit is at home, Seth, they're a really effective offensive team. Jared Goff will be comfortable. I know Denver's playing better. I understand that. But I expect Detroit at home to beat, I think, a slightly overrated Denver team by at least a touchdown. Two more, Seth. I'm going to give you two underdogs of 3.5 points that I think can win outright. First, Minnesota Vikings getting 3.5 points against the Bengals. First, Jake Browning, the quarterback of Cincinnati, is a little banged up. But even if he isn't banged up, Seth, I like Minnesota. I think these teams are pretty close to even teams. Getting over a field goal in the NFL is king. I think they can win this game outright. Give me Minnesota plus 3.5 against Cincinnati. And Seth, we saw on Monday Night Football, Green Bay, I think, is a little bit overrated. They lose it outright to the Giants. I think Tampa Bay is every bit as good of a team. I truly believe that. Getting over a field goal in a game I consider to be 50-50, give me Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield.
All right, Brad, thanks for your time and your insights. As always, I'll see you next week.
I appreciate you, Seth. Thank you so much. Good luck to everyone out there.
All righty, you got it. After the final break, I'll share my closing thoughts and predictions for Monday Night Football's critical matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Seattle Seahawks. JP Mascaro & Sons is a family-owned, locally operated solid waste service company in business for over 60 years. You've seen the red trucks with the blue elephant that symbolizes strength and reliability. Mascaro is different than other national brands. Like the birds, Philadelphia is home. They'll take care of all your waste removal needs. They have it all: an experienced workforce, state-of-the-art equipment, a cutting-edge recycling center, and their own disposal facilities. Call 888-MASCARO or visit jpmascaro.com.
At Mandrecchia Law, we win big personal injury cases, but we always tell our clients up front that those cases almost always hinge on how much insurance coverage people or companies have. At Mandrecchia Law, we don't sell insurance, but we're experts at helping our clients make sure they have the right insurance to protect their businesses and families. Do you have the right insurance? Most people don't. For a consultation, visit mmattorneys.com or call 610-584-0700. Mandrecchia Law, aggressive attorneys who get the job done. At Revolution X, we know that fortunes are made in times of uncertainty. Are you selling your investment real estate? Are you interested in deferring your tax with a 1031 exchange? At RevX, we're experts in 1031 exchange planning and the use of passive real estate options using DSTs. Not in the midst of an exchange and want to invest in real estate but don't know where to start? Revolution X has institutional-grade real estate options for any size investor right now. Set up a consultation at RevXWealth.com. RevX, defer the tax, maximize the gain.
If you understand that success is built on trusted relationships and dependable performance, Mid-Penn Bank is the right bank for you. We're on a mission to prove that the right bankers can make a big difference. We work harder, we get things done, and we're in your corner. With financial centers strategically located throughout the greater Philadelphia region and new locations in central New Jersey, we're ready to bring you the best in commercial and personal banking. Call or visit us today to connect with a professional Mid-Penn banker. Member FDIC. Go Eagles!
When you open the BetParks app, you're in the zone. Winning is always a rush, but the money is in the moments. It's the confidence and underdogs covering, the tension before a clutch turnover, and the pride of a parlay paying off. It's another chance to win big with all-day action. Plus, win your first $10 bet and get $125 in sports bonus bets. You play for fun, you love to win. You bet. BetParks.
This segment is brought to you by Bridgeview Partners. Welcome back. My concern for where this team is rooted not only in their performance over the last 2 weeks, but how they have played all season. The offense has struggled mightily most of the season, relying upon the run game to right the ship early, then a clear abandonment of the run game once the passing game got on track. The run game cannot get on track without the commitment to do so. The first excuse was the absence of Cam Jurgens to injury. Then all of a sudden we lost Dallas Goedert. He was a contributing factor. The fact of the matter is this staff does not believe that the running game provides much other than the means to run the clock out once they have a lead. I've witnessed some of the most uninspired football by some players on this offense over the last 2 weeks. And if a Super Bowl ring is the goal, how can you take the field so unprepared or motivated? After 13 games, the defense, to some degree, has looked confused and ill-prepared as they did early in the season. I'm trying to give Sean Desai the benefit of the doubt because he has much less to work with on his side of the ball. When the defense can't stop the run, it is the most demoralizing thing in the world. Trust me, I know because I've been there. The D tackles are constantly being double-teamed. The linebackers are constantly confused as to where they fit in the run game. And the five-man front, which has been their go-to, they're way out of the run game. Now, all of a sudden, they can't get the run under control out of either front. They are predictable in their play calling, and I sense some frustration on the part of some of the players. Effort is lacking, tackling is shoddy, and the accountability for performance is lacking. Statistically, they are one of the worst defenses in the NFL. They rank in the bottom third in almost every category and have given up a touchdown or a field goal in 12 of their last 13 opponent possessions. Statistically, this is what this defense is. It is going to be hard to win games versus even supposedly the beatable teams left on the schedule if Sean Desai and the players don't come up with a remedy for these shortfalls. The special teams seems to be the only special thing about this team at the moment. Michael Clay looks to be the most competent coordinator on the staff. I think we've all hoped for the best for this team. Even when we could see that they were flawed. There's always a chance that a team can turn the tide and turn things around, but I now see and believe some of these issues at the moment are insurmountable. If they couldn't mount the energy, motivation, and fortitude to challenge the Cowboys, what should we expect over the last 4 weeks if they continue to play the way that they've played the last 6 weeks? Even at 4-2 over that stretch, it's going to be a tough road to hoe versus the Seahawks, Giants, and Cardinals. Do I see them emerging from this funk versus Seattle? I don't think so. I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks 17-21 in this game, unfortunately. That's the show for tonight. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next week as we look back on Monday night's matchup versus the Seahawks and look ahead to the NFC East rivals Giants game. Good night and go Birds.